appreciate you. You know I do. Curl. Welcome back for another face mask and faith, my girl. Alright, so y'all know how this goes and flows, okay? I bring in people that I know have your back because they got my back. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so today, I have one of my best friends here, Lasia. Lasia, tell them about yourself.
Hi! They call me Lasia, but I go by Lay often.
Yes.
I am a new wife. I am a mommy, and I am an entrepreneur all in one. So what is a mompreneur, something like that. A nonprofit organization called Blessed Women United that is actually probably going to expand. So now my focus is just to help women or parents deal with certain issues that aren't talked about on a day-to-day basis, like co-parenting, different feeding methods for their kids, what to do and what not to do, just those kind of little different things. And then we will kind of expand and make that more of a kind of, if you will, parents ministry. So that's one of the things. And then hopefully this year I can drop a clothing line.
Drop a clothing line?
A clothing line. So y'all can see the little shirts and sweatshirts that I've come up with, which I think that everybody needs in their life. Okay. And it's unisex too.
Oh, well, there it is. How about it? But we are excited to have you today. Thanks so much for coming on here. I have to make sure I thank people when they come on here. Okay, thank you so much for being here. And so today we are going to be talking about co-parenting, y'all. Now, of course, you're like, Janae, what you talking about that for? I could talk about it. But no, I'm doing it on purpose just because I know I have a wide range of people that watch my channel, and so I want to make sure that I'm touching on different areas, and also bringing in people that know about it, have experienced it, and had succeeded, okay, in these certain areas. And so I'm also here to learn and receive, so that when I become a wifey, like, okay, I'm prepared in certain areas. When I grow more in my entrepreneurial life, when I don't know, just stuff in life. There's stuff you still need to learn and grow in, okay? We cannot get complacent about how we live this life, and so always willing to learn and grow. All right, so let's do this. All right, so Lasia, fun fact, if y'all did not know, my goddaughter is her daughter.
My daughter.
Yes, Hunter. Yes. So let us know, tell us your story.
Okay.
Yes.
So, kind of long story, but quick story. So, lived in Dallas, went to ministry school, met Hunter's father because we worked together, and then we dated for a very short period of time, and once I broke it off, you got that one more visit, y'all. That one visit, you be like, okay, I'm going to go over, it so happened to be his birthday, I'm going to go over, say happy birthday, and yep, I failed, and then, lo and behold, I was pregnant. And Hunter's dad and I, we knew obviously that it wasn't going to work, but we try. You make an effort. And so we did all of that and still didn't work out. So we co-parented, which was hard on both of us. I'm not going to sit here and say that he didn't have feelings or emotions. Like, it was difficult for him as well. So we had Hunter, we co-parented, and I had to, if you will, I had to remove myself. We weren't living together or anything like that, but how do I say this? He was doing his own thing, even while we were still talking. And I let him do his thing, and I went back to school, and I completed ministry school the same year that I had my daughter. Yay to accomplishments. Never give up your goals. Okay, so 5 years later, and we have a great relationship. I haven't argued with the father of my child since February of 2015.
Wow.
A month after she was born.
Wow.
Because I chose not to argue with him, because it's no purpose. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help him. It doesn't help her. So we stopped arguing, or I stopped arguing with him. I let him say how he felt, but I didn't have a rebuttal all the time. I'll say, hey, I don't agree with that, and I'll let you think on it. And then in that process, I was literally on my knees, like, God, how do I go about doing this? How do I make this work between him and I without being upset with him? And then once I was introduced to his girlfriend at the time, we went about that way.
So yeah, so if you relate to this story, keep tuning in and whatnot. And so the first thing that I want to ask you or hear from you is, do you feel like making sure that this relationship between her dad and you was top priority? Was it top priority, and how was it beneficial in the end?
Yes, having her have a relationship with me and having a relationship with her dad was very vital. It was very important. It was very beneficial because she still needed to see how we could interact with each other, even though we weren't together. I wanted her to see that mommy and daddy could coexist together in the same place, regardless if there were extra parties there or not. Because at the end of the day, we're both here to love on her. And if anybody that comes in his life or my life, they are here to love Hunter. We are a package deal. It's two of us. And if that was the issue with, prior to or with the significant other's children, it would be no different. I would love them just the same as my kid. I would ask them what their boundaries are in regards to correcting if there was ever an issue in that case or whatever. And to love on them. I come from a blended family myself. My stepfather had 2 kids of his own. My mother had 2, and we all blended together. And we never had an issue. I never had an issue with my brother's mom. So it was something that was shown and it was displayed. It was always out of love. So it's very beneficial because she needs to see that. And now that we live in 2 different states, it's even more like it has to be kind of outdone and overdone, just by simple conversations. If he needs to talk to me outside of her, he'll say hey to Hunter, and then he'll ask me questions about such and such, and I have to watch my tone, watch what I say, and make sure that there is some kind of laughing joke that's continual with that. But it is very beneficial, and that's the first way to win over your the other parent.
And so what are some tips, or what have you found that helps with balancing that all out though? Like, have y'all had a conversation that you feel like anything you pull from that you want them to know, like, that really has helped you balance this all out? Because you may have somebody watching like, how? Like, you're telling me this, but this is not my scenario right now. Anything, tips or something that you can give them to help them be able to balance this all out?
So the one tip, like I said, we haven't argued since 2015, and what I did is I told him in the conversation, I said, I choose not to argue with you anymore. I'm not going to argue with you. So if you're going to come to me correctly in a respectful manner. So choose not to argue and let the small stuff, just let it roll off your back. Like, he would say little stupid things, and I'd just be like, okay. And that would irritate him more, but then he understood, like, she's not about to fight with me about it. If she says one thing or if I say one thing, she'll say okay. And then what I did on the backside, like I said before, I was always in prayer. God, how do I handle this? Because her dad would say little slick and smart things, and I mean, we could do it back and forth to each other, but I would always get corrected, or I would say, God, I need you to help. Or but I need you to change his heart. Because even moving back to Michigan, he had just experienced the death in his family. And then literally, I told him, because it was around Christmas time, about two weeks later, I told him that we were moving to Michigan. So you could only imagine how he's feeling after losing a significant family member. And then now you're telling me that you're about to move my child across the country. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. So what I did is I was like, hey, Marcus, one of the things I did, I actually treated him out to lunch, which some people would be like, what? I treated him to lunch. I was like, let's go out and have lunch. Let's just have a parent conversation. And we just talked. And I was like, you tell me how you feel. If I ever hurt you, please, I apologize right now. Let's fix it. And you have to be able to apologize. You have to be able to say, hey, I was sorry in this area. If you're holding on to something that I said to you 3 years ago, I apologize. And it goes both ways, but you have to be willing to communicate with that person. And forgiving him was the best decision I ever made in my life. Like, there's nothing for me to hold on to. Like, we're done. So why allow him to have that power over me? Of being angry, or you didn't do this, or I needed you to do this. Like, no, like, you and him both made this kid, but at the end of the day, you still have to do what you need to do for your kid, whether or not he shows up or he or she does whatever. You still have to hold your ground and be prepared, because you knew that in 9 months while that baby was cooking, There were going to be some roles that needed to be changed. You needed to change how your financial situation was going out, spending money. We're going to be financially responsible in 2020, okay?
There it is.
And there were certain things or activities that you wanted your child to be in. You knew that was coming, so you could mention it. But if he never shows up, you can't be upset. Well, I mean, you could be, but it's not worth your energy, if you will.
So you're basically saying for some people, like, consider whichever way this goes, be prepared.
Be prepared. You have to be. You have to be. There's no way, because you can sit here and walk around life and expect somebody for handouts. And it's not always going to be that way, because once that one person says, oh, no, I can't do it anymore, or I can't do it at all, what are you going to do? You going to let your child down? Mm-hmm. No. You have to take every opportunity that you can to excel yourself and not be concerned about what's going on over there. And I'll say this to add that in. Something that God had dropped in my heart, I was really upset with him about something, and I couldn't let it go. And God was like, you don't live at that address, so why are you concerned about what he's doing over there? Mm-hmm. I'm taking care of what's here at 6:15, so let me handle this, and I'll handle also what goes on over there. Like, don't be concerned. And after that, I was like, okay, God, I see where you're going with this, because my priority should not have been focused on, hey, Marcus, I need you to do this, or why are you not doing this, X, Y, and Z. Like, that shouldn't have been my priority. My priority should have been, here at this house, are my bills paid? We got food in the kitchen. We got gas in the car. We have a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, little things like that. So you have to change your whole mindset when you have a kid. And then when dealing with another purpose, or with another person, what is the purpose of this, and what am I expecting to get at the end result?
So what are some prayer points that you think is necessary to go to God about when it comes to, for one, balancing your emotions throughout this, making sure your child is okay throughout it? What are some things that you found yourself praying for more often?
One of the things that I was adamant about praying for was that, God, whoever hurt him prior to me, let him be able to forgive them, because some of the things that happened in his childhood could affect how he raises Hunter, affect how he speaks to me in certain conversations. So that was like one of the big things, like change his heart, and then let him not be so angry. He's one of those people who are like quick at the mouth, so he'll say anything that just comes right off. So it was like one of those things, like, help him adjust with that, and let him work through whatever it is that he's working through. Let him be angry. If he needs to be angry for a while, I mean, that's great, I get it, but don't let him hold on to it. Help him move past it. Another thing that I prayed for was that the relationship with his daughter never changed based off of me. Never let anything come in the way because I don't agree with what he wants to do or what he's doing per se. Don't let that alter his relationship with his daughter, or let another woman come into the picture where that changes. And I have to be honest, I had to have a conversation with him, and I told him, I said, hey, you're not calling like you used to. And he had just gotten in a new relationship. I said, you're not calling like you used to. Hunter is asking for you, or if I call or I text and you say you're not available, well, that woman doesn't come before your child. If I call, 9 times out of 10, I'm not calling to talk to you unless it's an emergency. And she would be like, I want to talk to Daddy, and I'd be like, okay. And then the issue was he wasn't calling back. That's the problem. Like, you know that you see it, but you wouldn't call back for a long period of time. So that's where we had to draw the line. But after that, I mean, I said it, and I said it with love, and I told him I wasn't trying to be mean. I said, but as she grows up, she's going to notice that pattern. So, but yeah, those are just a couple of things that I really touched on, was just to change his heart, to help us communicate more, and just be efficient with what you got to do, you know, for your kid, because you know that she's active. She likes stuff. So yeah, those are the 3 things, the tips, points I could give.
What did you pray about for yourself through all of this? Because I'm sure this was not an ideal situation. No one wants to wake up like, nah, I gotta take care of a kid by myself. What did you pray on, or what helps you get through? Be able to successfully co-parent without your emotions taking over.
So funny that you asked that question, because now that I think about it, I don't think I really prayed for myself.
Okay.
And I don't say that to say that you shouldn't do it, but I say that because my focus was, God, how can I help him without, I guess, without me actually being there, I guess. So I can't say that I really did pray for myself, or maybe I will say maybe I asked God to help me not be angry, help me to forgive. But those were little things that obviously came with time, came with patience, but it was just one of those things. I'm not gonna argue. I've already made that distinction. So if I'm not gonna argue, that means I'm not gonna be mad about the silly things that you say. We're not gonna have this conversation more than once unless, you know, we need to. But typically I can't recall necessarily myself praying for myself, but I could have. But if I would say anything for you to pray for, pray that you have open communication, that you have a forgiving heart, and that ask yourself or ask God to show you what can I do to make it better or easier for him so that we can have this good relationship flow.
And so to round this out, I'm learning a lot. I'm listening. It's allowing me to connect more with my friend. But all right, so what is something that you can say to someone right now that may be going through the same thing as you, or approaching that, they're still pregnant and they're going to be approaching that new season of their life where they will become a single parent? What can you say to them?
I would say, don't give up on yourself. Trust God. Realize that God breathed a life into your body, and he designed you for a purpose. That child is here for a purpose. So don't give up because of what your circumstances may look like. What you see in the far future, or what your eyes could be deceiving you to see, is not going to be the reality of what you see. You can persevere through anything. You were built for this. You have to understand God knew all of this was going to happen before you were even formed in your own mother's womb. So he's already made a way out. He's already cleared the path. He's already had the conversations. He's already sent the angels. It's your job to say, okay, God, I trust you. I may feel like I'm blind, or I'm walking and I can't see. It's a dark cloud ahead of me. But God, I know that you have prepared a table in front of my enemies or with my friends, however you want to do it. But I have to choose joy. I have to choose life. So don't give up. Don't get weary in well-doing. If you could find that friend, or if there is a friend or somebody that you can kind of relate to, I would say grab hold and just be like, hey, I need somebody to be in my corner. I need you to support me. This is a tough time, you know, and I just need that extra push. And don't be afraid to speak to somebody that you don't know, because those are sometimes where a lot of great knowledge and information comes from. And always be open to receive wisdom from an elder. Sometimes you kind of overlook that because they're stuck in their ways, and now that we're the new generation coming up, we've taken some things from our parents, but you know, we've kind of made it into our own. But never be afraid, and you will never be the only one. So there's somebody that's out there that knows, and look, I'm here. You can find me. Come track me down. I will talk to you. I will pray with you. I will cry with you, because I love you. I know where you've been, and God could bring you from being broke to a millionaire in about 5 minutes. It's just how bad do you want to get from A to point B.
So you have Blessed Women United, and tell them about that and how they can, if they're going through what you experience, how can they join that?
All right, so you guys can find me on Facebook at Blessed Women United, where we have a support team and we talk about issues that you're facing, or if you have a question or something that you just need somebody to pray with you about. I am here for you. But like I said, it is Blessed Women United. It is on Facebook, so find me, DM me, let's talk, let's hash it out, let's laugh, let's cry, and let's be encouraged together. I love you.
And I love y'all too. So I really hope you enjoyed this face mask and fave segment for today. I just really wanted to make sure that I'm tapping into other areas, because I know that this thing we call life can hit us, okay? And so let us know down below if you grab something from this, or if you have any other tips you want to add, and be a great support. Once again, make sure you check out Blessed Women United on Facebook and join that group if you are experiencing something as what we talked about. And yeah, girl. So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.